fortunes, but first I do have a very special guest in the studio.
YorkMix Radio.
And it's time to welcome Mark from Rocketsmith. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Laura. How are you today?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. I'm glad you've come in because I was getting a little bit lonely, to be honest.
I could well imagine.
So, Mark, you are from a local band called Rocketsmith. Just talk to us a little bit, first of all, about the band, what kind of music you guys do.
Yeah, so the band itself has been going 15 years, I think. It's a rock band, and we've gone through various guises. I was actually a bass player years ago. I left the band when we had kids, and then I came back as a guitarist. So it's gone through a few mixes, but we're really settled with the current lineup. It's working really well. We've got like all this material ready to launch and stuff, so it's very exciting.
Exciting, yeah, it is. And do you know what? I first came across you guys last year when we had the York Rocks Christmas Against Cancer concert, and you were fantastic, and you got such a good response from the audience as well.
Well, it was really fun. Obviously, we know Serge, who put the gig together, and he got us on there. And playing at the Barbican is one of those, it's like a little milestone.
Yeah.
So it was so cool to do it, albeit it just whet the appetite a little bit more because we were playing covers, and it's like, now we need to be back here doing our own, our own music as well. So it kind of whet the appetite a little bit to get moving to a point where we can actually start playing venues like that. So
absolutely. And I suppose now you're kind of at that point because you've written your own music, and a huge thing happened to you in the last week, didn't it?
It did. So we like to try and do things differently. Like earlier this year, we bagged a support slot with Bryan Adams, and it was like,
what?
Which was a little bit, for an unsigned band, even the guys involved kind of went, this doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, we've done that. Then it was like, okay, we're not going to get to the top of the charts because, like, we're unsigned.
Right,
Not enough people know us. But we thought, what about iTunes? So we thought, let's give it a go. See if we can show up somewhere where technically we shouldn't maybe be.
Yeah.
So we gave it a go, and we got the Bryan Adams things by asking, and it was like, every question you don't ask is an automatic no. So it was like, we got that. It was like, okay, we're just going to ask and just say so we went out to our fan base, our followers on socials and stuff, and just said, if you've got an Apple phone, open up the thing. If you can spare 79 pence, go and buy the track.
Yeah.
And let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get to like the top 40 in the rock chart or something like that. So interestingly, I was just telling you before we started talking, I was at Ellen Road the day this happened, watching Leeds Sheffield with my son, and I barely saw any of the game because we put the word out at lunchtime and said, right, if you go and buy this, and we kind of went in at number 149 or something like that, and it was like, oh wow! I mean, actually, we've appeared in the top 200, and it was like the Foo Fighters' Best of You was below us or something, and it was like, oh wow, oh whoa,
yeah.
So then I spent the rest of the day like refreshing the app every 2 minutes to see what was happening. And when we arrived at the football ground, we were number 2. And it was like, so then I was kind of like, right, we need to get more people. So it was like putting more messages out. So I didn't actually see any of the game. I saw one goal, which I managed to video. And then the rest of it was just spent doing that. Then I went home and literally woke up 2 a.m., checked it, woke up 4 a.m., checked it. And then the singer messaged me at 7 a.m. and went, it's happened. Got to number 1, which was, I don't know, it was just seeing, we've got tons of screenshots of the chart and like being above U2 and Coldplay and all these big things. And even like some Halloween songs that were obviously charting on iTunes because people were buying for Halloween. So, it was mind blowing. So obviously a massive thanks to everyone that went out and bought it as well. But it's a nice one. It's a very nice screenshot to have. Top of the charts.
Of course it is. Top of the rock charts, number 1, unsigned band. I mean, where do you go from here?
I don't know. So I'm a big fan of, I'm getting into this appearing where we maybe shouldn't appear thing. I like the concept of that. So the song is called Rise, as everyone's going to hear shortly. Yeah. And the words of the chorus are Still We Rise. And a friend of mine from Kent sent me a picture of Lewis Hamilton's helmet, and it has Still We Rise on the back. It's his thing. So now I'm kind of like, okay, what can we do with social media and getting everyone involved to kind of somehow, like, can you get to the F1? Maybe not, even if you just shared it.
Yeah.
You know, like someone with the millions and millions of followers, it would have a massive impact. After that, we don't know. We're trying to push for bigger gigs. I don't know if we're going to get on with Bryan Adams again in a rush. But we're just trying to get out there. We've created all this stuff that we're really, really proud of. We just want to get it out and for people to hear it, basically. So it's just more of that.
Brilliant. And if people want to hear more from you, if they want to follow you, where can they find you?
So Spotify, Apple Music. We're on all the socials. Probably don't watch the TikToks, they're terrible. But yeah, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. It's all at Rocketsmith.band. Rocketsmith Band on all of them.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Rocketsmith
does.
Band.
There you go. Yeah. And are you touring at any point in North Yorkshire? Can we see you live?
We can see us live. So we're doing our hometown gig. Mm-hmm. We're doing a Christmas party over in Pickering. That's on Friday the 13th of December.
Spooky.
There's kind of us and another couple of acts. We're trying to make it a big party atmosphere. Got some silly drinking games in the middle and all that kind of stuff. So
sounds like fun.
Tickets for that are on the website. Yeah, and that's it at the moment. We're working on. We're trying to get into more festivals. You know, some kind of bigger things. Maybe some support acts next year, but. That's where we're, what's going on this year.
Well, fingers crossed. And you know what? I think everyone will be behind you after listening to this and supporting you because you're a fabulous local band and we want to see you get further and further. Now that you've hit number one, can you please tell us and announce your number one track for us?
Here on YorkMix Radio is the number one iTunes rock chart, Rise by Rocketsmith.